In this video I want to take a look at the question of selling the house, selling a house by the owner. You may be the owner, you may be considering selling your house, you may be considering doing away with the need for an estate agent or an auctioneer, and obviously you're going to be saving the auctioneer's fee if you do that. I haven't seen it happening too often in the last, say, 5 years or so, but I have done it myself in the past, and I have had one sale in the recent past, in the last 3 months or so, where the property was sold by the owner. I've done it myself, as I say. I did it in 1989 and sold a shop and an apartment overhead, but I wouldn't recommend it. And the reason I wouldn't recommend it is, number one, an estate agent is a professional seller of property, and it's going to have a pool of interested parties perhaps who've given their name in to the estate agent, looking for property, looking for anything that comes up that might be suitable. That pool of willing buyers, interested parties, would be something that the ordinary person selling the house themselves, perhaps on Facebook or however they advertise it, won't have access to. So that's one factor. The second one would be the question of selling a property, selling an asset that you've put a lot into. It has great memories for you, and you probably take it pretty personally, the house, any criticism of it. And that can lead to difficult negotiations and personality clashes and a bit of stress and a bit of anger and a bit of resentment, whereas the professional seller, like an estate agent, won't be as invested emotionally in the selling of the property and will take some of the criticism, or most of the criticism, if there is any, with a grain of salt, and with a view to that criticism perhaps being part of a negotiating ploy or dance. So the person selling the house themselves, they may have spent 10 or 20 years there and poured a lot of sweat and tears and blood and money into it. They won't take the criticism so well, and it could jeopardize a deal. So that's another reason. The third reason I would suggest you use an estate agent is because an estate agent will have a fair amount of experience in weeding out tire kickers, looky-loos versus serious punters, and will understand the need to try to ascertain whether a person is capable of buying a property, your property, can move relatively quickly and are not in a chain, are loan approved or are cash buyers, or whatever the situation is. They'll have that. The fourth issue, or the fourth reason I would suggest getting an estate agent to do the job for you, would be that issues may arise, and they could be small issues or big issues, but having an estate agent as a sort of a buffer between you and the purchaser is useful. It can be very useful, and an estate agent should be able to differentiate or distinguish between serious issues that might be deal breakers and might be dealt with by your solicitor, and relatively minor issues which he can or she can deal with. The fifth reason why you might use an estate agent is to do with the stress of buying, or selling rather, the stress of doing the viewings and the anxiety and wondering what do they think and are we going to get a bid and so on. It's a seller's market at the moment. That mightn't be a problem, but it's a stressful experience. It's a stressful sort of an endeavour to engage upon. There are 5 reasons why I think you should use an estate agent. There is one good reason, however, why you might do it yourself. It's entirely up to yourself. I wouldn't recommend it, but there is one reason, and that is the cost. You're going to save yourself the estate agent's fee, and that could be quite significant. But again, it depends on how quickly you need to sell and how easily or how quickly you're able to get somebody to buy the property from you. You may well have a friend or a neighbour or somebody that you know, or a friend of a friend, who are very, very keen on your property, are loan approved, ready to go, etc., etc. Then you can save on the estate agent, and you'll not be beating around the bush waiting for the best or price a range of buyers or potential buyers to come along. You're happy enough to do the deal with one person who's there, and the reason for that may well be that you may be under pressure for time, and rather than getting the best price, it may well be in your interest to get a quick sale, and your circumstances may dictate that. By and large, in summary then, I'm saying that you can sell the house yourself, no problem, but I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend getting an estate agent. Hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you gave it the thumbs up down below. Thanks a lot.